Are you ready, Miss T? Okay. Luke 1911 says, I had a video about how to fix a dog with an ear hematoma, which is a blood vessel that's broken in the ear. Probably started because the dog had an ear infection. Dog started shaking his head, bashed his head on something, and it caused a hematoma, which is basically a blister inside the ear of blood. So he said, I have a pit bull with this issue. The vet drained it and just wrapped it up again, up against his head now, and it's full again, and I'm out $1,000. Yikes! Look,
$1,000.
You should have watched my video and done it yourself, because it'd have cost you a big fat $0. Here's the secret: wrap it up against the head is not good enough. You've got to wrap it up against something cylindrical, tight, so it doesn't fill up with blood, and it won't fill up with blood if you do that. So drain it yourself. Go get yourself, you saw in the video where I used the barrel from a dry erase marker, cut that off, took the guts out, it's nice and light, and wrap that around. But that's what you've got to do. Beasley Bub says, and this was just from 47 minutes ago, it says, I hope you answer my question. So here you go, here's an answer within 47 minutes of you posting it. I've been really stressed about with worry.
Oh, babies. Baby calves. Sorry.
If I'm to understand aspiration pneumonia correctly, it's a secondary condition and significantly higher chances develop when they aspirate milk. This being the first time, and fetal blah blah blah, runs nose, I've got to learn how much this. Questions are, is this a guaranteed thing? I'm going to do this later. Someone sent me a text, it's like, oh, you got to send short tests, folks.
A book?
Yeah, book. Got to just get to the point if you can, then I can answer it right there and then. I'll answer that later. Do you recommend using this?
Shorten your text messages.
If you can.
Makes life easier.
Someone says, do you recommend using this for an English Bulldog? Talking about a whelping system. I recommend you use it for
everything.
Every dog that has puppies.
And you got the bigger heated, heated whelping system.
Yeah, we've got all different sizes. I mean,
thinking the traveling incubator, you got a bigger one.
Do I have your glasses here again?
Yes.
I've got I've got diamonds on them. Look, I'm blinged out. See this?
Yeah.
Bling, bling.
Yeah.
Bling, bling.
That's James.
Bling, 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 bling.
He grabs any kind of glasses that's sitting around.
This is the beginning of the defeminization or the demasculinity of James chopping. Do you recommend using this? Look, we build any size you can come up with. You can come up with a huge one, 6 foot by 6 foot, or a small one, 2 foot by 2 foot, or a round one. We can build you a heat tape, and it absolutely makes life easier for you.
Baby pigs or baby goats or.
Well, I haven't done it for that, but
you could.
Yeah, pigs are gonna.
You do for your bigger heated traveling incubator.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, anyway, the answer is yes, it works beautifully. Is a Bulldog's World says, hey James, can I use Extender at home? So what they're asking about is we sell the Canoplus long-term extender. We use that for all of our shipments. And if you're going to ship semen, you absolutely have to use an extender, and that one is the best one out there, and we highly recommend it. But if you're doing an AI at home, he's asking whether you could or should use the extender for that. And the answer is you can use it for that, and it works great. And I specifically do recommend it if you're working with low volume. If you've collected from a dog and you've got less than a cc, it's hard to cope with less than a cc because you lose a lot of it in the syringe. So add some extender to it and double up the volume and get at least 2 cc's. Bigger dogs, 3 or 4 cc's. But yes. Kadifi Anubis says, what happens if you do a TCI and a level is at 10.9? Will she still take? Well, the first question is, why would you do a TCI on a 10.9? Because you are about a day and a half to 2 days early, and you should be doing a TCI on more like a 25. So the answer is, yeah, it might be okay, but certainly it'd be better if you'd waited a day or two.
Oh, we left the trash sacks in the car, and we gotta go get groceries.
Oh, we'll get rid of them up here.
There's a. Crying out loud.
Are there good sources that you or someone on this can recommend on DNA? I've not been able to find much of anything. I'm not sure what you're asking, but if you're asking about where you get DNA tests done, Animal Genetics out of Tallahassee, Florida, UC Davis out of California, Vet Gen out of I don't know where, Pet Paws out of I don't know where, and one more is Mbok. If you want to know how to figure out what your DNA is, go download the Bakia, B-A-K-I-A, coat color calculator. It's great. Question, McFly Time says, question, so he's talking about dogs and about how much they should be gaining every day, and he says, if they are as fat as walruses, should they be getting half an ounce each day, or should they just maintain whatever they have? Yeah, you want to see a gain of half an ounce a day. I mean, you know, small dogs like Chihuahuas, they're not going to gain half an ounce a day. And big dogs like, you know, Great Pyrenees are going to gain more than half an ounce a day. But yeah, as a general rule, you want to see a gain of weight every day, whether it be a small amount or a lot, you want to see a gain of weight. And I would not be holding back food. If they're walruses and they're swimming around, take their back legs up and get them on their back feet. But you know, we don't put babies on diets, human babies on diets, right? And we don't do that with puppies either.
I mean, mama dog's got rich milk.
Right. I mean, look.
She's doing good.
When dogs are, you know, 8 weeks old, you can control their input at that point, and then you know
you're feeding them.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to control the amount of food that a puppy gets off mum. Hey James, BAM Logistics. Hey James, all is well. I have a fawn. She is AYAT. That'd be a sable. She is little CO, so a copy of untestable chocolate. Little D diddle D, a blue, capital EM, full mask, which means that she does not have cream. So, what would we breed to? Well, so what would we breed to? Well, you don't give me everything here, so I don't know everything about it, but here's my general idea about this is, number one, breed to the strengths of the dog that you have. So, this dog has to copy 10 points, breed to dog with 10 points. This dog is 2 copies of blue, it's a blue dog, breed to a blue dog. This dog has a copy of CO or chocolate, breed to a dog that is carries chocolate, or better yet, is a lilac. This dog doesn't have cream, so the cream doesn't really factor into it. So, if I was breeding this dog, I would be looking at our lineup. I'd look at a dog like Chairman or Hercules. They're blues that carry cocoa and cream with full 10 points. Or I'd breed to a lilac like Bazinga or Gianni. So there's your answer on that. And if you want more information about our dogs, contact us and we'll give that to you. Alright, so here's an interesting one. So this is from Ernesto Cruz. From what I've heard on the California breeder question, is that breeders are going to have to get LLC, and report earnings and limit breedings to once a year. Thanks for sharing all this experience. Well, California, bless you. Bless your hearts out there. California, what a beautiful place. But you've got some wacky rules out there. So, look, you know, if they're going to restrict you, there's all kinds of ways to play.
They've got PETA real thick and
well,
heavy
yeah, they
out
do.
there.
But there's all kinds of ways to play this game, right? I mean, look, you know, you can... I'll let you be creative about how you'd solve this problem, but I promise you, I can think of 3 ways to fix this problem that's not going to impact you right away. So, you know, as far as the reporting is concerned, of course, any state's going to want you to report because they want to tax you. Mm-hmm. They want to know what your earnings are because they want you to pay capital gains tax or whatever, you know, however you're declaring this. And we pay those taxes. So, you know, there's ways that you could be creative about this, but be careful because, you know, if you're doing things that circumvent you paying taxes, that's tax evasion, so be careful about that. But as far as reporting this, I mean, there's lots of different ways that you can do this. So, you know, and I'm not going to say any more about this because I don't want to encourage people to do things that necessarily might be in the true spirit of what your local and state officials want you to do, but be creative. What technique is okay? We're talking about AIs. We're talking about vaginal, surgical, and TCIs. Which techniques is more successful in your opinion? So this is going to be the last one because we're fixing to go eat some food. So what is the most? Which is the most? Got to weigh in on this, Tammy?
No, I wasn't even paying attention.
She's driving, which is a good thing, so she's paying attention to that. Well, look, all three techniques are absolutely fine. They all result in good pregnancies. We don't do TCIs or surgicals. We almost always do 2 vaginals 2 days apart. And we get litters sometimes that are 12 and 10 puppies on Frenchies, which is huge litters. So obviously that works fine. But in any of these situations, it's all coming down to really a combination of 3 things. And the most important one is breeding at the right time. So if you breed early or late, you're going to impact litter size or get no puppies at all. Correct technique. If you're doing, specifically if you're doing a vaginal where you're the one doing it, make sure that the semen stays in the dog. Look at my techniques on how to do this. Make sure you hold the dog up for at least a full 30 minutes so the semen doesn't leak out. Otherwise, obviously, that's going to impact litter size, right? And then, of course, you've got to have quality semen that's from a dog that can get your dog pregnant. So I like vaginal because they're not invasive. You can do them yourself, and you can do them multiple times. And so what I recommend that you do is do 2 vaginals 2 days apart, because it gives you a better window of opportunity. And the problem is when you narrow it down to a single TCI or a single surgical, if your timing's off, there's no way to correct it. If you're doing a vaginal that's 2 days apart, you've effectively got quite a bit bigger window. And so you can be a bit sloppy on your results and still get a nice litter. So which one's the better one? To me, vaginal. There are times that a TCI or a, what are you doing? All right, just waiting on me? Mm-hmm. Okay, there's times that thank you, Tammy. There are times that a vaginal or a TCI makes sense, and that is if you are late. You'd run a test and your dog's numbers are 25 through 35. In those situations, absolutely, you should do a TCI because you do those a day later and your numbers are higher. So there's your answer. Mm-hmm. What else?
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Can we go eat now?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, buddy. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.